Welcome to another episode of Lucas&Moe Versus The World. This is actually more serious. So yes, I'm gonna use my serious voice this whole entire episode. Let Lucas do his thing real quick.
Oh man! Can I get a roar, please? Y'all ready? Y'all ready? For the main event? Damn!
Welcome back, Knuckleheads, to Moe's serious voice and Lucas&Moe versus the world. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about Sparrow Predictions, Disney using brownface in Aladdin, Ridley Scott wanting to make another Blade Runner sequel.
Like I said,
but first,
serious.
we're going to venture out of our movies and everything else and dabble a little bit in the music and go to the comments that Lupe Fiasco made about King Kendrick Lamar. So Moe, for the people out there, set this up so you all know what we're talking about, just in case you don't know what we're talking about. Recently, in a magazine article and on Twitter, someone came to Lupe Fiasco and asked him what was his opinions on Kendrick Lamar. And Lupe Fiasco said, and I quote, "Kendrick is not a top-tier lyricist. His lyricism is good. His storytelling is phenomenal. But when it comes to punchlines and things of that nature, when we quantify what lyricism is, Kendrick is not top tier." So Moe, I guess it's a twofold question.
Oh yeah.
One, do you respect Lupe Fiasco enough that he should be someone who should be able to judge what lyricism is? And two, do you agree with him?
Man. Let's see. Let's start it this way. I do respect Lupe, but do I respect him enough for him to say what he said and take it as gospel? That's tough. Let me come back to that one. But yes, I kind of do agree with him. I kind of do agree that Kendrick Lamar, K-Dot, Kenny, wait, Kung Fu Kenny? Yeah.
I don't know what these little niggas call this dude, man.
Yeah.
I think it's Kung Fu Kenny, though.
Yeah, Kung Fu Kenny. No, he's not the greatest lyricist. He's not top tier lyricist. He can rap. Oh, he can flow. He has a flow. He can rap. But he's not top 10 lyricist. I would even go as far as saying J. Cole can, if they ever went blow for blow, if they ever went bar for bar, J. Cole could body him. And I don't even like J. Cole. But yeah, he's not. I agree with him on that one. What do you think? What about you? I still have to come back to you on that, whether I respect Lupe enough to take his words as
gospel.
gospel.
This is about Lupe Fiasco, and this is what I've always said about Lupe. Lupe Fiasco is the most underrated rap artist of the last 15 to 20 years. And the reason I say that
Agreed.
is because Lupe Fiasco in 2007 dropped what could be the best rap album dropped in the last 15 years.
Are we talking about The Cool? Oh yeah.
Yes,
oh yeah.
The Cool is a certified classic.
Dropped
Matter
it
of fact,
so under the radar, but still.
People who don't know, Lupe Fiasco, first Food and Liquor is a classic.
Yes.
He followed up with a classic into Cool.
Yes.
Like Lupe Fiasco through his whole career has been a situation where he's never had support from his label because his label always wanted him to record music a certain way. And Lupe has always fought against recording music a certain way because he records it the way he wants to record it. That is one of the biggest differences between him and Kendrick Lamar. Because Kendrick has support of his label. And when it comes to skill set, though, they're not even close.
No, they're not. They're not.
Remotely even close. Lupe could rap circles around Kendrick Lamar. And it's nothing against Kendrick Lamar.
No.
He is basically a great MC, a great lyricist for a generation that does not have or support lyricism.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
But in all honesty, if you was to move Kendrick back around the time that Lupe Fiasco came out, would he be seen the way he is seen now? Of course not. Because, again, some of those lyricism and lyricists that came out back then are still doing it now, who actually could still out-rap Kendrick Lamar because their time has passed young kids or people who really don't pay attention to hip hop enough to know better, they don't see how far off Kendrick is from them.
Mm-hmm.
So all they see is a guy who, when you compare him to his mumble rap cohorts, he looks great. I'm not going to go as far as what Moe said and say that J. Cole can.
I think J.
I don't know,
can body
because
him.
J. Cole, on the songs they've done together, J. Cole has bodied
Exactly. Going off that.
Matter of fact, Kendrick Lamar is one of the few lyricists that play down to his competition. Like, I know people love him on that Control verse.
Yes.
But
yes.
if you take out the point that he's talking about people and you just look at his lyrics,
it was trash.
It was kind of weak.
Mm-hmm.
Lyrically, he was not saying anything. He named a bunch of names, and that's what made the verse hot.
Yes.
Because he went loud. He screamed loud. He seemed enthusiastic about what he was saying.
Mm-hmm.
That's what made people think that shit was hot. But
Right.
when I listened to Kendrick on, whether it was on Eminem CD, on the joint he did with M and M killed him, or I listened to the joint he did with Pusha T and Pusha T killed him, or if I listened to the joint he did on Life of Pablo with Kanye West and Kanye West killed him, that is a trend with Kendrick. He is awesome, but he is the only rapper on the track. But when you put him with other people who can rap, man, and you got to pay attention to lyrics, not the same, man. You don't get the same dude. But when they set him up perfectly, he's great. He'll deliver, but Lupe's 100% right. One, Lupe has the credibility to say who's a top tier lyricist when Lupe could be right now, besides him and Eminem, could be at least top 5 right now lyricists out. So he has more than enough credibility and more than enough classic albums to actually say,
you know what,
who can actually rap.
You're right. Because if we go back and look at Damn, Damn is not a classic. Damn is going to get nominated. Of course it got nominated. He probably will win for Damn because the way the music industry works.
Story of OJ.
I mean, but the way the music industry works is because you're hot. You're one of the hottest and people listen to you and you get radio spins and all that good stuff. But if we're being honest, Lupe, yes, you're right, has had his thing that he does his thing his way. He knows how it's supposed to be done, and he wants to do it the right way, and he's not going to settle for doing it any other way. Kendrick Lamar, like you said, is this generation's, because again, it's not a lot of lyricists in this generation. So if he's one of the top, it's because again that Control verse and him calling people out is something that made him stand out, because he's not a standout. He doesn't stand out if you take him back and you put him back in, say, like a 2007 or 2007. Kendrick Lamar will be a mumble rapper. So no.
Wow, I'm not going to be that disrespectful, Mo.
I'm sorry. No, and but you know how I felt on our podcast is whoever wants to say something can say something. That I don't care. So yeah,
you should.
I don't.
Kendrick Lamar is the most overrated rapper
very
of his time period. Not of all time, because we've had overrated rappers before.
Yes, we've had over. Yes,
he is overrated. He's somebody who's overrated. Who, like, when people talk about classic albums from Kendrick Lamar, I would say which is a mixtape, but technically it's his first album, which is Section 80.
Mm-hmm.
It's still the best work he's ever done.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Good Kid, Mad City was really, really, really good. It was too long and it had a couple of songs you could have.
It was also really commercial. If we're gonna say
really
that.
commercial. And here's the weird part,
commercial.
Though. And again, Mo, now you're about to have me go off a little bit, Mo, on all these fucking people who say things about Kendrick. This is what I'm gonna say.
Mm-hmm.
He started off with Section 80. Again, it's not really a commercial album. It had commercial moments, but not a commercial album. Mm-hmm. It is damn near perfect. I fucking love that album. That's when I started listening to Kendrick Lamar. When I heard Good Kid, Mad City for the first time, I said, oh, so this is him trying to cross over. That's what I thought when I heard that album. When I heard To Pimp a Butterfly, I said, oh, so this little nigga think he common now. Oh, so this is him trying to say, man, I may have crossed over, but I can still do this part of it. And then when To Pimp a Butterfly, even though some people liked it, lots of people are still uneven about it, he said, let me go back to what made Good Kid, Mad City so great. And he did that with Damn.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Same problem though. It just felt so forced at times.
Very.
And that's not saying that he's not lyrical on there, because he is. But then, if you compare him to the class of people who's producing music in his generation, so I'm taking out a lot of lyricism and a lot of lyrics from people who are better than him because they're not technically in his generation. And when I put him in his own generation, it's like, oh, okay, it's him, J. Cole, and who else?
Pretty much.
So he's obviously going to stand out.
Pretty
but
much.
Again, when we push him back, and when I say the 2007, that's the time period with the Lupe Fiascos. That's the time period with the Kid Cudis. That's the time period with Big Crit, who album, in all honesty, came out this year and lyrically was better than Kendrick's album. But that's putting him in that era. It leaves more to be desired. And I'm not blind enough, and I know way, way too much about hip hop to ever place him as high as other people want to place him, when I have evidence of him on tracks with other people and they body him on them other tracks.
I can't believe you said you wouldn't go as far as saying J. Cole wouldn't body him when they've done music together.
I try to give
when they've done music
credit,
together.
But then, man, that Young Jeezy song,
yes,
with both of them on it,
yes,
Cole completely bodies him on that song.
So you think
and
if they
like,
went,
there's no like, again, but between that, but even with Pusha T off of that nostalgia song on Pusha's first album, he makes it sound like Kendrick had no business being on that song with him. I think
what you're trying to say is,
at that point with Kendrick is that's the issue. He has way too many songs with other D's that it makes it sound like he has no tracks with them. For you all that don't know out there, the female rapper named Rhapsody, and possibly the best hip hop album to come out last year. She has a song with Kendrick. Shit's Kendrick on the song. Anyone who hears it says, yeah, Rhapsody kind of got him on that one. That should tell you how it is.
Do you know what really hurts my heart?
Top tier lyricists rarely let another MC get in a song with they're going to out-rap them. That's why it was such a big news story, such a big headline when Eminem and he did Renegade and M washed Jay-Z on that song. It was a deal because it has been on. People never say he was washed on a song.
Right.
That one, he was like, yeah, M cooked him.
Yeah.
But every Kendrick jump with another rapper besides someone else from TDE, any other track with any other MC, you're like, oh, okay. That's why Kendrick don't do songs with rappers.
Right.
Nintendo. Mo, I'm going to ask this question, we can move on to the next topic.
Okay.
Poetic Justice off a Good Kid, Mad City. Who has the better verse, Kendrick or Drake?
It's Drake.
Exactly.
Because
that should never be the case.
To be honest, you remember Drake's verse more. And
way more than Kendrick's verse.
You shouldn't be able to remember Drake's verse more than the actual owner of the song.
That verse. Drake, that is a Drake song. That's a Drake song. Drake got on the track on Kendrick's album, on the track with Kendrick, and that shit became a Drake song.
You know what people are gonna say? You know what people are gonna say when they listen to this? Drake, Drake and the issues that came out. Oh, he doesn't write his shit.
But that he doesn't write all his stuff. Hey,
does it fucking matter?
Neither here nor there will I speak on Drake's writing abilities. I know that Drake did 5 a.m. in Dallas, which was a freestyle.
Yes.
And he murdered that shit.
What about the Calabasas joint? Was that him?
Even that jump. Yeah, that was Drake too. Even that jump. Like Drake can murder a song. And I'm not saying Drake is better than Kendrick.
Oh.
I'm just saying
he murdered Kendrick.
When I heard them two on a track together, Drake took a song that is a Kendrick song on a Kendrick album,
made it a Drake song,
made that shit a Drake song
on a Kendrick album,
and makes it exactly. Like that's all I can say about that.
But you know what hurts my heart is that Ryan Coogler went to Kendrick and said, "Hey, why don't you produce the music for this Black Panther?"
You want to know why? Want to know why? Get my throat here.
Oh boy, I fucked up.
It's because, as Disney has been doing, and I know this is a complete sidetrack, but about Kendrick, so I'm gonna blow this up, so I'm gonna spit on it really, really quickly here. I don't believe Ryan went to him. I believe Disney went to him. I believe Disney has been doing all they can to pander to Black people, including putting the image of Africa in Black Panther posters to make you niggas go see this movie anymore. I swear to God,
Oh,
you're going to
boy.
get something with kente cloth on it before this fucking movie comes out for you all to do it. Disney, a company, operated at one point, because I think is dead right now, operated by a slave owner?
Yep.
What we say?
Yep, he was. He was. It's documented too.
Slave owner. Very racist individual. Now his company ran by still his family. And I know, we're not supposed to judge people on their sins of their past, but still. But now they're pandering to black people in the most obvious ways humanly possible. And as long as you motherfuckers keep soaking that shit up, you're going to keep on fucking doing it. But that's why Kendrick was picked for fucking soundtrack, because that makes absolute sense. This nigga has never done movie, film, or audio for a film before. Why the fuck would he do it here? The reason he did it is because someone in marketing said, who's the blackest artist we currently have out right now? And somebody said, hey, technically the blackest artist we have out right now is Kendrick Lamar. And they said, oh, he is the blackest artist out. So if we get the blackest artist out to come and do music for our film, which we are hyping as the blackest movie out, we should get a black typhoon, and then all black people will come see this movie.
Yo, you might as well call me the Segway King, the king of segues, because I didn't plan it that way, but I dropped that question, and the way you answered it, saying Disney, is going to preface the next topic I want to talk about. This is probably not what we wanted to talk about, the order of the topics we're going to talk about it, but I think you know what I'm about to talk about next, right? You know.
Are you going to talk about racist Disney?
You know. You know.
Oh, man.
Yep, I'm doing it.
I'm
doing it. I am fucking going. Disney using brownface in Aladdin. Bruh. When that news broke, I looked at Twitter, Facebook, and I looked everywhere, and then I actually pulled up articles and I cracked myself up laughing. First of all, everyone, let me say this like this, right? Black people are going to overlook this for the next couple of months, because Black Panther, which is a Disney Marvel movie, is coming out. So they're not going to really rave about this, because this is something that people should talk about. This is something everyone should be talking about, but they're not going to talk about it now because Black Panther is coming out. But this is a Lucas and Moe show, and we do not give a shit about what you want to talk about, when you want to talk about it or not. We're going to talk about it right now. So Lucas, Disney using brownface in Aladdin. What is your take on it? How do you feel about this shit?
This has got to be the dumbest shit humanly possible. And this is why it's stupid. It's not stupid that they did it. The point that they did it is just an insult to everybody. It's one of the worst moves. In this time period, it's one of the worst moves you could ever do. It's bad because Disney came out, one, admitted it, and two, attempted to defend that they did it. That's the issue here to me. You did it, and then you say, you didn't come out and apologize and say, well, we're sorry for doing this. Somebody wasn't thinking properly. You came out and said, nah, yeah, we did it because we couldn't find enough brown people. So some of the white people that are extras, we had to just brown them up a little bit. Are you fucking kidding me? Serious. Like, that's your answer, is we just had to brown up a couple of people to make them blend in better. How the fuck could this ever be okay? It's okay because they're giving you niggas a movie full of niggas next month. That's why it's okay. Disney played this shit to a T. They needed this story to break around the time that Catman was coming out, because they knew when that film comes out, and in the midst of that film, all this other racist shit that they doing would not play. And shit's working out for them perfectly. Yes, people in the industry are insulted by it and call it one of the worst things that's happened in recent history. Of Disney openly admitting that they're rounding up their white people.
100.
In this fucking movie.
That's the number.
No. Black people don't don't care, one, because technically they're not black facing people. So black people tend not to care about other races. They only care about themselves. And the point that they're giving you a film with black people in it. But I wonder, I'm going to ask you this question, Mo.
Mm-hmm.
Black people feel the same if a story came out that they blackened up people from Black Panther?
Nigga. Oh, I gotta sit up for this one. You can hear me adjusting my seat, right? If the story, no, seriously, I told you I was gonna be using my serious voice for the rest of this cast. If the story, ladies and gentlemen, came out that Disney was blacking people's faces up, there'd be cries for boycotting. We will never hear the end of it. I think it's gonna be maybe a 10-year interval for Disney to make another successful movie again for black people to go see. The internet would have been so, like, you know what happened with H&M? How some H&M stores have just been destroyed right now because of a picture of a black kid wearing a sweatshirt. Mm-hmm. They would have, I think people would have gone up to Disney, Walt Disney World, everywhere and protested this shit. That is what would have happened. But again, it's not black people, and you got Black Panther coming out. So hey, let's do it now. Let's make this news happen now.
They browned up 100 people.
100. Yo.
And we're not like guessing numbers here.
No, it's out there.
Statement, they say out of the 500 extras needed, 400 of them were from countries with brown people. And the other 100 just had to be browned up. What? How the fuck is that okay? So if they came out and said, out of the 500 extras in Black Panther, 400 of them are from African countries.
Bro, this is in 2017, dog.
Another 100 of them.
This is in 2018.
Crazy.
How is this okay?
Say it again, Mo.
How is this okay? How is this not being talked about? How are they not crying out for boycotts against any Disney? How is this movie's gonna come out and it's gonna make over $500 million? But guess what? This story? No, fuck no. I'm not stupid. This movie's gonna make over $500 million. It's going to get black dollars in it. Do you understand? This movie's gonna get black dollars. Do you understand?
And you motherfuckers are okay with the brown facing shit that they doing in this movie. Like that.
Fuck Disney. Fuck anyone that capes for any Disney movie right now. To me, is just as racist as them. Fuck them. I don't care about you. I don't care about any Disney movie you want to talk about.
I don't think people understand just how. See, here's the thing. If you whitewash a character, which means if you took a character that is of a different race and you cast it as a white person, I have little to no problem with that. It is what it is. Who's the better person to play the role? Understand that. The point, you are taking people and painting them darker to match your film. It's fucking disrespectful. There is no caping for that shit. There's no motherfucking way in hell you can come out and tell me that's okay. That is not okay anywhere. Because guess what? If you're telling me that you can find 400 people, 400 brown to dark skinned people, I'm pretty sure you could have found another 100 of them.
Easy.
They're not limited.
Actually, Lucas, I'm actually getting upset.
Everywhere.
I'm getting upset because hard. This is something that people are letting slide. And the fact that they're letting it slide again, I really think they're letting it slide because of this dumbass movie coming out in February. Like that, now this is getting me mad about that movie because black people you know what's so funny is because I remember during the period where it just felt like they were shooting a lot of black boys, a lot of black kids, and Black Lives Matter was the movement was getting up. These people were protesting with you. All of a sudden, you know what? Fuck it. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
That you motherfuckers are out here protesting a boy in a sweatshirt whose mother came out and said, y'all making a big deal out of nothing.
Jesus Christ.
A mother came out and said that shit. If you prefer to focus on that, then focus on one of the biggest entertainment companies in the world openly coming out and admitting we just colored 100 white people to make them look brown. No big deal with us. We don't care. We don't give a fuck about the racistness that shows to people. We giving you niggas a movie with black people in the next month. Be happy. That's what Disney just said. That's what Disney just did. And you're right, Mo. Let's go on to something else because clearly this is never going to click the motherfuckers at least until after Black Panther comes out. So y'all can suck
and then it'll be
dick until then, and then try to act. Oh my God, I can't believe they did that. Fuck y'all.
No, seriously, fuck y'all.
People who agree and let Disney slide with this because at this point, in this world, at the time that we're in, that's something that should never slide. I don't give a damn what race you are. I don't care what religion you are. I don't care anything about it. You have to understand what that implies Disney believes about brown people, that you are so interchangeable. All I can do is put a white face there and paint them, and we'll be perfectly fine. It don't matter if you're not physically painting their face. If you paint their faces with CGI, you're doing the same fucking thing. No difference. Come on. On to the next topic of
what
this
up?
evening.
What up, Lucas? Because I'm already upset. Can we get me some? Can we talk about something?
Let's talk about something else that makes absolutely no sense.
Right.
Ridley Scott wanting to do another Blade Runner sequel. Ridley Scott came out, said that he had a story already in place for another Blade Runner sequel. What do you think about it, Mo?
Man, the last Blade Runner was what, 3 hours, bro. Like
3 days long. It was 3 days long. Man.
Oh man. I don't know, Ridley. You should. I think this is one time you have to let some things kind of just go, fade into where it's supposed to fade into, and just be what it's supposed to be. Ridley, look, Blade Runner 1, Blade Runner 2049, classic movies. You know, for whatever can be said about them, they're already in a cult classic status. I believe those two properties, or Blade Runner as a property itself, doesn't need to be touched anymore. I think we are done with it. I really think we're done. I think because you know what's funny is Blade Runner 2049 is actually better than Blade Runner.
No.
You don't think so?
Not even close.
Oh no, you're on your head. But you know, we'll come back to that. I think Blade Runner 2049 was better than Blade Runner. And it's still it still flopped because it was a flop. I think the world is tired of Blade Runner. I think as good as visually pleasing you can make Blade Runner, I think we're just tired of Blade Runner. And I don't know if he thinks we're going to wait another 10, 20 years, however long, to make another movie. Just stop right now. We're done. I'm done. Well, I'm done. I can't speak for everyone else. I'm done. What do you think, Lucas?
I think this is interesting. And it's interesting in the sense that
you probably want another one.
Ridley didn't direct the last Blade Runner film.
Of course.
Like that. I believe he may have been a producer on the film.
He was a producer on the film.
So the question is, was he an executive producer or a producer? Because those are, again, as we said before on Lucas&Moe, those are completely different things. Mm-hmm. An executive producer has little to no control on actually how the film is made. A producer actually has a little control over how the film is made. I don't believe that this story comes out if Blade Runner 2049 was a success. The point it was not a success is the reason that this is a story now. Because I feel, as really as the person who originally made it, I would have no issue with him doing a sequel to the Blade Runner.
Oh,
now, where he goes with it would be the interesting part. Because there's a lot that you don't want to talk about with Blade Runner. I don't believe it's a situation where people don't want to see a Blade Runner film. I don't think people wanted to see
Blade Runner 2049? Okay.
This Blade Runner film, I don't care how... It's a good film. Let me first start off by saying it is a good film, but also let me tell you, it's 40 minutes too long.
It's forever too long.
It's a film that if it had a decent editor, the film would have been a lot better. I think it would have been received better. Because it didn't, that's the way it is. And because it's way too much mystery surrounded by it. I think Ridley wants to say that he can break this down to a more simplistic version of what he feels it should be. If he could, Blade Runner is something that can go on. I wouldn't mind a sequel, another one to it. And definitely one directed by the person who originated the series.
Mm-hmm.
That makes no sense for me to come out and then say that I wouldn't want Ridley Scott to do it again. Granted, Ridley has not had a great track record.
No, he hasn't.
At this point. But I do believe that anybody who starts a work, if they're not the person who does the next film in their work, they should be given the opportunity to correct the flaws that someone else brings to their work. A la James Cameron returning this year to the Terminator series.
Oh, he was an executive producer. I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Like James Cameron returning to really be the man in front of the Terminator series at this point. Not directing, but he's the man who all control over it.
Mm-hmm.
If Ridley didn't direct it and he just wanted to be the man that had all control over it, still it would be great because it's his vision. I don't believe this was fully his vision. This is a studio vision because I don't believe he would have put Harrison Ford in it the way he was placed in this film. So I'm interested in seeing it, but man, that motherfucker better have like a $50 to $70 million budget.
Yeah,
it needs to be a small budget film. You just put out a film that had a huge budget.
150, I believe.
150 and barely made $300 million.
Only made didn't it just make didn't it make 91 in its first in its whole run?
Oh, domestically.
Oh, domestically made 91. Jesus Christ.
Like worldwide, it made only about 260. Like that's horrible for a budget the size that this film is. Like its break even was well over 400 million.
Right.
So that tells you how much they lost on Blade Runner.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the chances they're going to want to do another Blade Runner film? Probably slim to none after this one flopped the way it did. But if they do, you do it with around a $50 million budget, you streamline the film, meaning 215, 220 max time frame, with a little bit more excitement in it, not meaning more action, but more thrilling moments in it.
Right.
Not make it this fucking character study that this one attempted to make it.
Jesus
Maybe
Christ,
it really Scott one could make sense. If not, need another Blade Runner though?
No, we don't need another one. But you want one. We don't need one.
Hey,
Anyways.
Great directors will always lead to you wanting more. And speaking of something you want that may be completely unnecessary, well,
what up?
The next topic, sir.
Oh yeah. We're getting a Black Widow movie, y'all. We finally got our Black Widow movie. Oh wait, time out. Sorry. No. Red Sparrow, the not Black Widow movie that is going to be like Black Widow, you know, pretty much the story of Black Widow, but it's not Black Widow though, so it's Red Sparrow. Get it right. Let me start over with you. Yo, not Black. Why do I keep saying Black Widow? Because this is Black Widow. This is literally Black Widow. It is a story about a Russian girl who ends up becoming a spy, and you know how stuff like that goes. But yes, Red Sparrow comes out in March. It stars Jennifer Lawrence as the female lead character, and she's going to be the female assassin in this one. And the best part about it is she is blonde, like our current, Black Widow in moving into the next couple of Marvel movies. I love talking about Marvel when I'm not talking about Marvel. Anyways, Lucas, do you have a prediction for Red Sparrow?
Here's the thing about Red Sparrow. I actually read the book on Red Sparrow.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing book. Not kind of good. Great book. Great story. I'm always confused about the comparisons to Black Widow because I'm gonna wait for more people to see this film. Because if it goes in the direction of I would play it a lot closer to Atomic Blonde, a lot closer to that than I would ever compare it to Black Widow or in comic book. But my prediction for it, I don't know yet because Francis Lawrence is a pretty great visual director.
Yes.
At times he can put out great performances. Jennifer Lawrence is a great actress. Great actress. The trailers haven't been great, but they haven't been bad. They just a little bit more to be desired And I'm thinking of a lot of people going to go into this film
Mm-hmm.
and they're going to think this is an action movie.
But it's
Let me
not.
tell you all up front, the way the book is, this is not an action movie. It is a very strategic type of thriller too. If you want it, it should have action in it, but the action should play a lot closer to the Bourne Identity type action
Mm.
because that's the way the book is written. So if they stay with that, which from the trailers it looked like that's the angle they're going. The last trailer I saw, when she's having the water poured over her,
Mm-hmm.
and the scream she gives out for it was powerful. So if they play up this angle the way that they should, which this is a very smart, intelligent thriller, and not necessarily the action film that some people think they're getting, maybe opening 15 to 25 million. It is Jennifer Lawrence. It could climb up high because, man, she opened a movie about a lady with a mop with about 15 million. So it could make more money. Is the movie going to be good? I'm going to say yes because of Jennifer Lawrence. I believe she had way more control over this film than she has in
With
the
the
past.
ex-boyfriend?
Because
Okay.
at this point, it's more than Passengers. When I say in the past, I'm clearly talking about Passengers,
Okay.
which still made lots of money, but wasn't good. And I think her control over this franchise or this movie could be great. So I'm going good movie, decent box office hit.
Okay. Well, I am actually currently looking up the budget for this movie. I want to know what what the money that they threw behind this movie is. I mean, yes,
I
I
don't think
made
it was
the
that much.
huh?
I don't believe it was that much.
Yeah, so I made the joke earlier, about this being Black Widow because it plays again. You probably don't know why, but Black Widow's story is written to give us a similar aesthetic to this movie, or it looks very aesthetically close to this movie, and that's why I said it. And what makes this movie, I think, what puts more pressure on this movie is the fact that it's that Disney Marvel announced that, oh, by the way, you guys asked for a Black Widow movie years ago. We're thinking about doing one now. We have a writer. They threw that out there. So I thought that was a ploy. And it's funny because I think now is when you want to do it. Anyways, let's get back to this movie in retrospect. I like, unlike you, I have actually liked what I've seen in the trailers. I understand what I'm going to get from this movie. I know for a fact that I am not getting what's that? The last Bourne movie was just action. I am getting the first Bourne movie where it was a thriller from start to finish with action elements in it. This is not going to be Atomic Blonde where where Atomic Blonde had a lot of action. This is going to fit that thriller part of Atomic Blonde. So I actually like what I've seen from this movie. And unlike you, I can definitely say I'm expecting this movie to be really good. I'm expecting a lot of goodness from this movie. I'm not a huge fan of J-Law, but I almost see her. I don't see her in this movie, which is funny. And yes, that trailer with water poured down her back. This is not a Jennifer Lawrence movie. It's almost like she's removed from this movie. This is not the typical. I mean, again, she's a great actor, and she can always remove herself from every movie. But I have not seen a trace of J-Law in this movie, so I like this movie, and I'm ready to see it today. I am good on this movie. Actually, I'm really good. I'm expecting this movie to be great. I'm expecting this movie to do well.
I think the biggest issue is going to be people coming in thinking this is an action movie. From reading the book, it's scenes in this book where there's little to no action going on, and it's just surveillance. Like, again, I believe when it came out, a couple of high-ranking officials in the CIA said this book should be praised because it actually shows you what espionage works looks like. I mean, it ain't about action. It's about doing the proper surveillance and things of that nature to get the information you need. And they say this is where this film succeeds. This is where the book succeeds at. So, with Jennifer Lawrence not necessarily being, or not looked upon as an action person, even though she should be in a whole action franchise. I think if they go to that more serious angle, which I think they're going to do, it would be great. But Francis Lawrence, man, and perfectly called him a visual director for a reason. Only one other person I call a visual director, Mo. It's the reason why. And I'm saying that because of Jennifer,
my gosh,
maybe she can overcome that label. And I believe, also quickly, I believe it's actually a horrible time for this movie to come out and for Marvel to announce what they did. Marvel's not going to realize how much that's hurting them. Between Atomic Blonde and this one, after these two, who the fuck needs a Black Widow movie?
No, seriously, this is horrible.
So,
for Marvel
it's horrible timing for them. They should have waited to after Infinity Wars to announce that they wanted to do a Black Widow movie. But that's neither here nor there. Has no effect on Red Sparrow, which is going to be a more adult version of Atomic Blonde.
Yes, definitely more adult because Atomic Blonde played more of the
enough action in it. It played all levels.
Yes, it played all levels. This is gonna because again I don't see how people are gonna walk into this and say I'm looking for an action movie because they haven't shown you a lot of action in trailers.
None.
So
no action has been shown in trailers.
You're walking,
but I'm pretty sure people are going to go ahead and expect an action movie.
I don't know how. Are you trying to say people are stupid?
Yes, I am saying people are stupid, Mo.
Okay, good. Because I didn't say it this time. I did not say it this time. Saying. You said it.
I mean, the cast alone: Jennifer Lawrence, Joel Edgerton, Mary Louise Parker, Jeffrey Irons.
Yep. Yeah, the cast is pretty strong.
That's a great cast.
Carrie Hines. Yeah, it's a pretty good cast. It's a pretty fucking good cast. Anyways, is that our show today?
I think so, Mo.
Oh, that's the show.
I think we're done. Oh,
yeah, we're done. I think we're
done. We got angry for a little minute there.
Yeah, we really got angry.
Got angry for a little minute there because fuck Disney.
Fuck Disney.
Hashtag fuck Disney. That's where I'm at right now.
Mm-hmm.
The fuckers keep on paying white people and putting them in movies, we're gonna have a problem. So now till they rectify that situation, because all it does for me and so many other Black people is bring up your history, which is that it was known for white people different colors for years. But that shit ain't cool now, man. Get shit out the way.
Right. Man, fuck them, dog. Anyways, that's the show, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. You can listen to this on iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, Google Play, Podbean. Shoot, there's so many. I just can't remember all of them. Anyways, thank you.
Everywhere you have audio to listen to, you can catch an episode of Lucas&Moe Vs The World. I don't give a fuck what you got to do. If you have an AM dial, I will find a way to put it on there so you can listen to it.
Yes. And when you do listen to the show, please leave a comment. Tell us what you think about it. Tell us, leave reviews. We like reading the reviews.
If you think Moe is trash and you love me, just say so.
It's actually always the other way around. It's always the other way around. But
because of the little fuck, they don't know no better, Mo. That's what it is.
Anyways, thank you again for listening. And you can catch Lucas&Moe, same bad time, same bad channel. Ladies and gentlemen, your host for the evening. Good night and God bless. We're out. Peace.
I was told to defend this gold.